Hello people, I'm Ajay Kakkad. I'm back today and we are going to do something in mashups, Qlik mashups, and here I have created a small example of a mashup which says tutorial mashup, and I have selected the basic mashup here, and I'll just show you the option. I'll go to create a mashup. I'll give it a name and I selected a basic mashup here. Basic mashup tutorial or basic mashup template. Here I have added some charts, two charts from customer sales, just to show you it's working just fine. This is the pre-made HTML page, the JS and the CSS by Qlik template itself. So here I am making a custom layout for it using Bootstrap. For this making a layout, I suggest you to learn or read this page from W3 schools. You know the basics about the grid system, tables, and let's say button group, and tabs and pills. This is very useful. You know, you can add some charts to it, and they have an example also. So I'll just switch this. Wow. So while clicking some buttons you can switch charts. I'll give this example also today in this video, and obviously the navigation bar and some forms if you want to add some, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So for now I'm doing a basic grid. For now I'll use span 4 and span 8, which is nothing but column 4 and column 8, which is I'm gonna couple 4 span together to make the 4 span, and 8 to make it 8. So here's a small example for them. They have made a row and they have added 2 divisions and they have closed this row. Now here they have given a class column, and in this chart they are going to give some values, and those values are grid system classes, and those classes for now I'm going to use the laptop and desktop screen size. So I'll give column hyphen LG, that is large, hyphen 4, and same to the next division tag, and I'll just change it to 8. So I have made a HTML page. Yeah, I have loaded those bootstrap files. You can find it here when you go to bootstrap home. This is the very basic starter template, or you can just hit on get started, and here's those files. Here are those files, or you can just simply copy and paste this also. And here I have added a navigation bar, a container, a row, and 2 divisions. What I'm going to do is, on this fourth part I'm gonna say span 4, span 8 for now, and refresh. Yes, I have span 4 and span 8 here. I'll show you a row which has 4 and 8. If I change this to 5 and change this to 7, then It says 5 and 7. Perfect. Working perfectly. Fine. Now in this span 4, I'm gonna make a list which will switch my sheets as per my case. What I'm going to do is, when I click on something, this part here will change, and in this part I'll add some, you know, charts. So the best way to do that is use tabs. I'll scroll down, and yeah, dynamic pills. I'll just say try. Yes, this is what I want. So I'm just going to copy this, paste it here, and I'm going to copy this also. Perfect. Perfectly working fine. Now what I need to do is, I need to switch something here. So while making the template, what you can do is, we have a home which is the heading and a text here. So we don't want the heading and we don't want the text. I'll just simply delete this. And here we have 1 2 3 4 4 tabs, 1 2 3 and 4, 2 3 4. I'm going to my mashup, the HTML page, and copy this. Or you can just simply write it also if you are comfortable with. What attributes you have to give is ID and a class. So ID should be unique, and it has two class, which is Qv object holder. What this Qv object holder does is, this Qv object holder, you get this drag to place layout option, and you can just simply drag something in here, and the JS file will be updated by its own. If you want to do it manually, write everything like application, this application which gets the object on this division ID, and this is the object ID of the chart. If you want to do this manually, you can do that also. I'll show you how it's done, but for now let's concentrate on this. I'll say QB placeholder 3 and 4, and here it should be QB placeholder. I'm going to my mashup preview. I'm gonna remove all my charts, and my JS file will be empty here. In here I'm going to copy this head, everything from the head. I'll go to my head, make some space, paste it. What comment do we have is character set viewport, right? I don't need this. And here I am going to load my Qlik resources after I am done with my Bootstrap resources. Bootstrap and Qlik. In Qlik resources, you have Qlik styling, your mashup name, mashup. In your mashup, you have a CSS file automatically created, required.js file under resources, and your JS file. Don't change the sequence of these two, otherwise your mashup will not work. I am going to add one more thing, which is this error pop-up. I am going to copy this and paste it under my container. I am going to copy this, take a backup of my old file just in case. Perfect. I am going to refresh it, and here it is. I will go to preview. So here I have made a small mistake. I have used Qv object holder actually it is Qv placeholder. So here you get this. I am going to add my charts now, and no, I'll take this line chart in preview or in next tab. Perfect, perfect. Okay, now you see this, the object is not loaded properly here. So what you can do is you can do a Qlik refresh. What is that? So while doing a Qlik refresh, you can say dot Qlik with a function and here you are going to add an ID or class. So in my case I have a class, let's say navpil, nav li and a dot Qlik. So navpil, I'll just take a navpil and I'll just console something dot log clicked. I'll refresh, I'll dock this, I'll go to console, refresh my page. Do I have an error? Okay, what is this now? Okay, so I click dot resize. So what it does, it will resize all the charts. I'll refresh. Okay, I'll click on menu. Perfect. Perfect. So today we learned how to create a custom template with by using simple mashup, and while and to use and we also used uh, bootstrap tabs or pills, so we can toggle through some charts, and after toggling it we have to write Qlik.resize, which will basically refresh the object or the Qlik object inside, so the chart will appear. Otherwise the chart will not appear. I will show you an example. I will comment this. I will refresh the page. Now this is chart 1, chart 2, 3. I'll still wait. Nothing. But the Qlik is and 4. No, that is not working. So I'll uncomment it. Refresh. Perfect. All the charts are coming just fine. So to enhance this UI a little bit more further, I'll go to the page and go to Bootstrap list, and I'll copy this. So when I do something like this, I'll go to the HTML page, and info I'll add this. So the representation of these buttons will look something like this. So let's go on, and I'll just cut all these and paste it here, and I'll add the class. So now I have to change this part. Instead of navigation pills, I have to write list group prior. Refresh. Perfect. Now let's change the CSS. If active, then color should be white. So let's go here and copy this, and I'll add this CSS here. If this is active a a a Perfect. Now I'll change a little bit here and there just to make it a little more presentable. What I'll do is I'm gonna change this large to 2 and 10, so I'll have more room when it comes to the chart. Okay, now our last option and the last part is this object which has a hell lot of margin to it. I'm gonna disable this margin, and in the CSS file there will be a margin. I'm gonna remove this. Refresh, and I'm gonna remove these numbers too. Now I don't want those representation. I'm gonna save it, copy everything, go to a formatter, say HTML, paste, clean. Perfect. Now just by using simple CSS and HTML, I'm able to do a normal basic mashup. Okay, okay, fine. Now I'm gonna create a new page in this mashup itself. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna go and say page 2, sorry, and for demonstration purpose I'm just gonna copy and paste this file and change to page 2, the title of the site to page 2, and yeah, page 2. My home page is my appname.html. I'll copy this and paste it here. Now I'm going to change this to hash and this to now I'll refresh and see if it's work. Now it is working. It is working just fine without errors, and the action also works fine, just fine. Now I'm going to add some more classes to it for this row. So I'm gonna copy this and say MD, which is medium to 3, and medium to 2, for example. uh, Medium to 2 and medium to 10. Okay, then I'll say, so I have created this example. So what it says, if my, I'll just start from the start, from the back, which is extra small, which says 2. If my width of the page is small, extra small, then it should be 2, and the next container should be 10, followed by small, which should be 4 and 8. Okay, this is 4 and 8, you can see the difference, followed by again medium 4 and 8, and large, which is 2 and 10. And when I remove this, it's 2 and 10. So I'll just add that also. Large 10, then 8, 8. I'll just make it 12, and when it's small, it should be 12. I'm gonna copy this, paste it here, and say when it's medium, it should be 4. I will refresh. I'll copy this to page 2, and let's see what happens. Perfect. Perfect. Now I just want to give some border to this container, just to, you know, make it a little alive. So what I'm going to do is, in here I'm going to add a CSS, a border, 1 pixel, solid, and the color. I'm gonna change this color to light. Perfect. I'm going to copy this and paste it in the CSS part. Refresh. Perfect. 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 Now I want to add a border over here also. As you see, the header of this object is very annoying. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to remove this padding from here, and I'll just explore it. Okay, this H1 has a lot of margin to it. I'll reduce this to 2 and 2, followed by the H2 tag also, 2, 2 and 2. Okay, so for the H2 tag, I'll copy this. I'll go to my CSS file, say this, and I'll just click on add class. I'll copy this, paste, cut, paste. I don't want this ng scope, not ng blind also, and perfect. And over here to H1, I'll copy this, paste, and I'm going to add the same margin to it. Then I'll go to the header with obviously some padding, which should be around 5, let's say. Bottom 5 pixel. Then to this header only, I'm going to give a border bottom which is 1 pixel, solid, and the color. And the color will be the same as my container border. I'll refresh and see. Okay, perfect. Okay, as you can see, there's a little problem here just because of this padding bottom to header, padding bottom to header. I can just give padding to 5 pixel and say it is important. Perfect. Damn, it good looks it looks like it's a little more professional now. And if just in case you need to align everything, so let's try here. Text align to center. Okay, it's not working. Okay, only the footer changed. So what I'll do is I'll copy this, I'll go inside the h1 tag, and as I can see, there is a padding here. I don't want this padding, which is padding should be 0 pixel. I'm going to remove that padding. Okay, and I'm going to say text align to center. Okay, it's not working because there is a nested tab or nested div, I think. Yes. Okay, it does not have a width, so we are going to give it a width which is 100% perfect. Now I am going to add the same thing here. It says ng blind and all. I'm gonna say width 100% and it should be important, and if just in case you need text align to be in center, add this to h1 and h2. Let's see. Okay, perfect. And the color should be in, something a little more dark. So I'll change the color also to black. I'll copy this, color black. Color of footer should be, I'll leave the color of the footer, not the footer, actually the subtitle. I'm sorry about that, it is a subtitle. Okay, so I'll say important. Let's override it. Perfect. Perfect. Now let's add a selection bar here. So I'll just add one. Now comes the selection bar. I'll cut this. After my navigation, I'll add it over to the next page also. Let's see. Okay, I'll go here to the container, which says ID, and our navigation has a lot of margin. Okay, if I remove this margin and give the same margin of margin 20, in here, which is 20 pixel, and it looks perfect. So I'll go here, say margin bottom, or just margin to 0 px, or I can actually add, okay, and oh sorry, margin dash bottom 20 px. Perfect. I'll do the same with this also, or I'll just copy this and paste it there. So this is how you make a custom layout with Bootstrap and Qlik.